हेलो दोस्तों, ट्रांसक्रिप्शन नंबर 247। स्टूडेंट्स, ये हरियाणा में जो आपका सीट क्वालिफाई हुआ है उसके लिए भी आपकी क्लासेस हैं। 90 की स्पीड एंड 80 स्पीड रहेगी आपकी डिक्टेशन की। जो आपका अभी आप प्रिपरेशन आपकी स्टार्ट कर दें, क्योंकि कभी भी आपका 110 का टेस्ट कभी भी आ सकता है। सो आप इसके लिए प्रिपेयर करें। सो बी रेडी। स्टेटमेंट बाय द प्राइम मिनिस्टर श्री राजीव गांधी इन द राज्यसभा ऑन 11 अक्टूबर 1989। स्टॉप। स्टार्ट। मैडम डिप्टी चेयरमैन, द जवाहर रोजगार योजना addresses itself to the need for employment guarantee in rural India. A program with similar objectives is required for urban India. The Nehru Rozgar Yojana, as the urban counterpart of the Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. Already more than a quarter of our population lives in urban settlements. The incidence of poverty in our towns and cities is not very much lower than the incidence of poverty in the countryside. Indeed, the problem of unemployment is as pervasive in urban settlements as in rural areas, and in many ways more complicated. The complications arise on account of a father of factors. We have to strike a balance between providing wage employment in urban settlements and provoking a flood of unskilled labor from rural to urban areas. Fortunately, the Jawahar Rozgar Yojana is so effectively tackling the problem of unemployment for unskilled labor in the countryside that it has now become feasible to plan for employment guarantee programs in urban settlements while striking the right balance between the rural employment program and the urban employment program. The Nehru Rozgar Yojana will be administered by the Nagarpalikas, who, as in the case of panchayats under the Jawahar Rozgar Yojana, will be left free to choose what schemes to execute, to identify the beneficiaries, and to organize labor cooperatives of the urban poor to undertake the program. Guidelines will of course be prescribed regarding the types of projects from among which the nagarpalikas might make their choice, as also in regard to the financial and technical norms to be observed and the methods to be adopted for hiring labor. We shall make it indubitably clear that neither contractors nor public works departments shall be involved in this work. We hope the Nagarpalikas will pay particular attention to identifying projects that are useful to the community as a whole, and in particular to the disadvantaged and weaker sections of society. We are instructing them to specially target at scheduled caste and scheduled tribe beneficiaries in proportion to their population, as also to facilitate 30% employment opportunities for women seeking employment. For larger than settlements, there would be difficulty in merely replicating the Jawaharlal Rozgar Yojana model. For one thing, the materials component would rise too high for the ascent to be placed firmly on employment generation per se. Minimum wage rates in larger towns and cities are so much higher than in rural areas that our same amount of money would generate far fewer jobs while at the same time attracting large numbers of job seekers from distant rural and mofussil areas who should really be looked after in their homes or in the vicinity of their homes. Also, fewer jobs for the same amount of money would mean the separate is thin is preciously those urban concentrations where the numbers looking for jobs is much higher and moreover charged with higher expectations. We have therefore decided that the second component of the Nehru Rozgar Yojana should comprise a scheme of generating the required employment through a special thrust to housing and shelter upgradation in all towns and cities with a population in excess of 1 lakh. We are, however, excluding from this scheme the four super metropolitan cities of Bombay, Kolkata, Delhi, and Madras, not because these super metros do not need housing related employment, but because there are already in operation in these cities similar programs with investment running to hundreds of crores of rupees, including funding by the World Bank and other external sources. Thus, the Nehru Rozgar Yojana component for urban employment through housing and shelter upgradation might be seen as the extension of the concept of employment through house building and shelter upgradation to the hitherto somewhat neglected smaller metropolitan and non-metropolitan cities and towns of our country. Under this component, we have focused on the most labor intensive activity available in urban areas, namely the construction and upgradation of dwelling units and housing. Besides, the shortage of housing in these areas is so acute that the fruits of intensified construction activity will directly reach those most in need of it, that is, the urban poor. Besides, housing requires so many different skilled trades such as plumbers and carpenters, and so many micro manufacturing units such as for bricks, tiles, and furniture, as also services as such as transport and wayside bars and tea shops, that the employment generated is not only direct employment in construction but also secondary and tertiary employment closely associated with construction activity. Also, some of the house building and much of the shelter upgradation will be undertaken by family labor. The family is given the opportunity of doing so by being given access to institutional finance. There are two segments to this component of the Nehru Rozgar Yojana. We envisage the first segment as a joint enterprise to the union government, the state governments, the Nagarpalikas, and HUDCO. The bulk of the work will involve identified families being assisted in shelter upgradation. Stop.